Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on our lifestyle and culture with Sir Alex. My name is Alex. Today, we're going to be having our special guest, Dr. Ogechi, and we're going to talk about different areas in terms of lifestyle, culture, and diplomacy. So sit back and relax. If you have any question, please do ask, and we will answer you as soon as possible while we are live. So enjoy and see. But this is our special program for the first time in 2025. So I'm just going to bring our guest in now. I think she's right at the back door. So you can actually hear from her and her voice. So whatever question, you are free to answer. But any silly question, don't worry, we'll do our best to maintain our smile and give you the best today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, doctor. Thank you for
joining. Good evening. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Thank you for joining. Thank you.
Welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you. I think one of the things in the community, I know is really, really busy, and it's a tough time to have people like you on a live show.
Very.
Yeah, thank you so much. I just want to thank you for the community and the impact you are making when it comes to our lifestyle culture and the availability. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Again, viewers, if you are just joining, this is our special guest today, Dr. Ogechi Sylvia Eze. So I might call it very well, I'm not sure, but I'm in Nigeria, I should be able to say that. So again, thank you for joining us. We're going to talk about different areas. Just a quick one, it won't take you more than maybe 30 or 40 minutes.
Okay.
Depends on who's asking question.
Okay.
Just to remind you, it's our live show 2025. So we haven't done this for the past 1 year. So you have made us to have a better and a special start in 2025. Thank you again.
Thank you, sir.
So in terms of lifestyle, I will be asking you some kind of critical question in regard to what people think about doctor and maybe your personal life in regard to how you got there, what challenges you face. If I didn't ask it, I will expect maybe some of our viewers might be able to ask such question. Please try as much as possible to give us answer, but if you can't, you can email us again so that the viewers will be able to get the right answer flexibly. Thank you so much. So now, I call you doctor, right?
Yes.
In this community, let me say, me personally, we have some challenges, right?
Yeah.
In regard to when we call, there are many people doctors. Some get like a doctorate, some get like awarding doctor and all that. Is it okay if I ask you what kind of a doctor are you?
Okay. Good evening, sir, and thank you for this opportunity to be on the platform to communicate and interact with our people. It's a privilege to have this honor to be on your platform. Like I said, I had to take my break. It's even my break time to be here. So I am Ogechi Sylvia Eze, Ni Odocha, my maiden name. I am a medical doctor. I studied medicine in the University of Nigeria, Enugu campus from 2004 to 2010. Graduated medical school in 2010. So 6 years of medical school. Graduated. When I graduated, I did what we call house job or internship in Nigeria, which lasts for a year. Finished that in the Federal Medical Center. That's what it used to be then, Abakaliki in Ebonyi State. When I was done, I came to the UK in 2012. I came to write the exams, which is called the medical licensing exam, because you see the UK, if you like, you have been a doctor for 100 years in Nigeria. You need their license to be able to practice here. There are many pathways. The pathway I used was the PLAB. I'm sure people would have been hearing PLAB, PLAB, PLAB. PLAB means Professional Linguistic Assessment Board, which is like it is the licensing exam, which is an exam that is graded at the level of a final year UK medical doctor. UK medical students, they want to see that you have the knowledge that is commensurate to a final year medical student who can be like a fresh doctor. So thankfully, I did that exam when the knowledge was still fresh, because you see, I finished at 2010, house job 2011. So the medical knowledge was still fresh. I didn't even practice in Nigeria. I just did my house job and came out. I came out like that because my husband was doing his PhD in Glasgow, and loneliness won't kill the man. So the man, the man told me, please start coming out, I beg. He even registered for the exam for me while I was still doing my internship in Abakaliki. And thankfully, it's just something I want to put here, because for those whose children are in medical school or who have relations in medical school, there was a rule then. If you register for your PLAB within 1 year of qualifying from medical school and your medical school education was done in English, you can get a letter from your provost to prove that your medical school was done in English. You do not need to write IELTS. IELTS is the English exam. So they feel that your knowledge is still fresh. You can write their exam because this is Britain. English is their language. They want to know that you can communicate in English. I don't know if that law still holds, but that's something for those who are thinking of doing the exam. Do it early. Find out if the rule still holds. I'm saying this because, Doctor, if you don't mind me adding this, the climate is changing. The landscape is changing. When I came in 2012, UK was still under the EU. So they were giving EU doctors precedence over us. Then UK left the EU in 2016, and EU doctors went back to their countries. They were no longer given privilege. Then the EU doctors did not need to do English. They did not need to do PLAB. As soon as you finish from Spain or wherever, you just come, they'll give you a license. Then also, who were from colonized nations speaking English, you will still need to write English. You will still need to write PLAB. So find out if that rule still applies. You can use that to help your family, daughters, sons who are in medical school, nieces, nephews. It can help them. So I came here, did the medical licensing exam. It was not easy. Thankfully, I arrived here in February of 2012. I did my first exam in March of 2012. I failed. That's a story for another day. Maybe if we have another session. That was an experience of, you see, UK code. If it shock your brain. Me, when I was not expecting the kind of code, the code can trap you. It can give you a culture shock. Oh, don't laugh. Oh, so don't laugh. You know, I came in February. Hey, God. And I landed in Scotland, where they were speaking, you want a cup of water? Huh? What you had to deal with then the cold, then dealing with the fact that loneliness, depression, psychological stress. I just landed, bam, went to write the exam. Entered the exam hall, I was shivering. I wasn't even ready. So I failed my first exam, but as God will have it, I went again. And thankfully, I had a group of doctors who I prepared together with. The exam has two parts. PLAB 1, which is the written exam, multiple choice. They ask you your normal anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, surgery, radiology, etc. Then in that written exam, I know that exam is written in many countries. They do it in Lagos. They do it in Port Harcourt. So that is a nugget number 2. Don't think you must come to the UK to do PLAB 1. You can do PLAB 1 in many countries, even Ghana. But you see PLAB 2 is a centralized exam. Everybody comes to the UK to write it in Manchester because PLAB 2 is like a practical, what we call OSCE, observed something clinical examination. So they want to see your communication skills. That's where you have to be bold. If you can speak all the English and speak through your nose and you cannot communicate, you're not confident, it will mark you down. They want to see that you're confident. They want to see that confidence. They want to see your mannerisms. It's there that you see body language. A patient will tell you, oh, I'm crying because my cat died. And you dare laugh or you do your face anyhow. They're looking at your non-verbal. So it is a standardized exam, which in as much as we know so much knowledge in Nigeria, we're so good. That's why Nigerian doctors are everywhere in the NHS. We are 100%. But you see what always puts us in trouble? You see non-verbal communication, mannerisms, what one of my friends calls soft language.
Yeah, that's British values.
Thank
British
you.
values.
Values, British values, ability to show empathy, and ability
Mm-hmm.
to understand their phrases. I'm afraid. When somebody
Mm-hmm.
said I'm afraid, they're not afraid though. What they mean is, I can't help you. I'm afraid I can't help you. I'm afraid. Or they'll say something like, do you mind? That kind of thing. So
Mm-hmm.
thankfully, I came in February 2012. By November 2012, I got my medical license. So I did my 2 exams that year. I passed, I got my medical license. Now, the challenge was find job now. Oh, find job now. Because by the time I came to this country, I saw that everything was bill. If I touch heater, my husband would shout, office, 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 hey, bill will kill us. I said, what am I supposed to do? He said, wear winter jackets in the house. Now, so I they wrap up like a hamburger inside the house. Everywhere cold. So I knew that things were hard. My sir, I have shared this so many times. In fact, somebody invited me on a podcast to talk about the podcast was titled The Story of the Doctor Who Worked as a Cleaner. Yes, I worked as a cleaner in the UK.
Wow. Wow.
I took up a job in Primark in Glasgow. The uniform is on my Instagram story. That is
Wow.
why if you see me and you see cleaners in the hospital, you think that I am kind because I've been there.
Okay,
I was
doctor, I'm just gonna bring you back to
yes.
the picture. I really that makes me be begging you like you should come on my live show. When you talk about that cleaning aspect, right?
Yes, yes.
Now we find it difficult in our community to understand different professions. We'll talk about professionalism.
Yes.
Now, in the community, we'll talk about giving back to society.
Mm-hmm.
You are seen as someone who is very compassionate, who is always there.
Mm-hmm.
Say for example, in Derbyshire community, your leadership is everywhere, not just in your profession, but
Yeah.
around the community. How come? What motivated you in this community role? What motivated? And what? Tell us about your governorship in regard to your role in the hospital.
Okay, so first of all, what motivated me is empathy, empathy and understanding. I came to the UK in 2012, like I said, and I have so many family members in the US and in the UK. You know, when you're in Nigeria, they'll be sending you sweets, sending you clothes, chocolates. They'll be telling you how this place is like heaven. You will now come here thinking that when you come, you'll be embraced. You come
Yeah,
here, nobody, people don't pick their calls anymore. Uncles and aunties that were telling you once you land, pick a call me out for where they will not pick. I understood how lonely it can be. Even when we're doing a one bed party, people are coming to distress. Nobody
yeah,
wants to carry anybody's burden. I quickly observed other communities, especially the Indian community, because we have a lot of Indian friends and doctors in the NHS. Those people do what we call in Igbo one ne. Provided they're from my place, they'll hold you like this. They will hold you like this. That competition, they want to hold you up. I'm saying this because I qualified in November 2012. I couldn't get a job. November 2012 till May 2013, I continued cleaning shops. I couldn't get a job. I was meeting top Nigerian doctors then. Please, I need clinical attachments. I'm getting to why I chose this my to become like a community leader. I said, please, I need clinical attachment. Clinical attachment is observership, non-paid, non-paid. Because then they were saying if you get this non-paid observership, you can then get reference. Once they,
definitely.
once they,
I did volunteer for 5 years
you see,
before I
you
went
see,
for
you
nursing
see,
community. Yeah.
they will tell you once you can get that reference, just one reference from a UK doctor can make the difference. And you can write in your CV, you have done attachment, you have observed the NHS. Sir, there was no community of Nigerian doctors to help me. Even the African community that was in Glasgow then, what they were used to do every month, they will gather, we will sing, we will eat, we will go to the hall, they will play, they will play kilometer. I'll be like, what is all this? Is it enough to gather, dance, eat roasted turkey, eat moi moi, and we are not helping each other grow professionally? Oh my God. I looked around. All I could see were people who were satisfied to be in their menial job roles. Because I was cleaning. I will be in the bus 5:30 heading to the shop. Only black people. My God. I was like, you will speak to this one. Oh, I've been doing this cleaning job for 15 years. I'm happy where I am. 15 years? You didn't even think of going to enroll in the college? Go and do an extra degree? There are free online courses. How can you be comfortable? You will not tell your children, I gave everything. I gave up my job in Nigeria. I was a top performing banker. I came here and became a cleaner. How will you then inspire your children to do well? When you did not even hustle, maybe to them, they looked at me like I had privilege. I was going to be a doctor. But I also saw doctors in London who were comfortable driving taxi. They did not want to go beyond that. To them, they felt, I have arrived UK. That is the top. I can't go beyond that. But it is not true. Because in the hospital I worked in, I'm just giving anecdotes. The hospital I worked in London, my first job, I got my first job finally in May of 2013. And that job was at the Royal National Orthopedic Hospital in London, a quaternary center, as in the top, because there's primary healthcare center, secondary healthcare, tertiary, quaternary, top. In that hospital, I understood that you have internal promotion. If you have stayed in a role for about 2 years, the hospital will advertise, we want to train porters who will become healthcare assistants. Then we want to train healthcare assistants who will go into nursing school. We will fund them. We want to train nurses who are at the bedside who will go into administrative roles. I was like, wow. So these opportunities exist. Then why is somebody satisfied to say, I have been cleaning for 20 years in the hospital. I will remain here. Number one reason, fear. Will I be taken? I am black. Will they like me? Fear and doubt. I said, okay, this is it. We hold ourselves back. Somebody coming from Nigeria, high flying, full of dreams. You come here, you see everybody around you is comfortable. You do what? You become comfortable. What is the need to hustle? I'm already abroad. That's the biggest thing ever. And you see the problem of getting comfortable. At that time, the people who were comfortable did not know that the UK will open up at 2021 for people to come and do care job. Now the care job market is saturated. So those people that rested at that level are now in trouble. But you had opportunities. I found out that there are free courses online. E-learning for health, iHeed, free courses. There are night classes. There is Derby Adult Learning Center. You came from Nigeria, you did not know how to use computer. You've been in the UK 10 years, you still don't know, and you're okay. In this highly competitive environment, so when I finished, that spirit in me was to just keep moving. Okay, don't rest. I remember one of my friends who was calling me from Nigeria then say, okay, you're now working in Royal National Orthopedic Hospital, big hospital. You have made it. I said, made it what? In this UK, how can you sit down and say you've made it where the market keeps changing? I was there as a senior house officer, and as an SHO, it just meant I was doing exactly what I was doing as a house officer in Nigeria. Within 1 year of staying there, I'll tell you what happened. I got bored of doing the same thing, no growth. I stayed there and watched British doctors who came. After 6 months, they moved on to go and specialize. I said, my God, if I stay here for another 2 years, these little children who just graduated will come and become consultants. I'll now be writing to them, dear sir, dear ma. I said, no. I will not just sit down. I said, okay, what am I going to do? I need to add something to this MBBS I got from Nigeria. I now went and said, okay, let me see if I can do a master's in Queen Mary University, because I was in London. The school fees then was £19,000. I said, okay, if I work hard, I can pay it off. And I will tell you another reason why our people relax. The environment encourages you to relax. They tell you, you have already done enough by being here. I went to the Human Resources Department in that hospital. I told them that I know that there are a group of doctors in this hospital who are on permanent night shifts. so that they can be going to school in the day. I want you to add me to that group so that I can become a master's holder. Do you know what they told me? You don't qualify. People like you don't qualify. You are here to work alone. I told them I've been here for 1 year and there's been no growth in my career. This is not what I came here to do. Do you know as the UK is now, you tell one person something in confidence, they just must spread now. No, they don't keep anything to themselves. Do you know that the next day, the most senior consultant came to me? Okay, what are we hearing? You want to leave us? Why? I said, I don't want to leave. I want to be put on permanent night because I want to grow in my career. I'm telling you, the most senior consultant, a lady for that matter, told me, oh, we thought you'll be satisfied having a job in the NHS. Do you know how many of your colleagues want to come to the UK? I told her, excuse me, ma, but your daughter is also a doctor. She passed through this department last year and she has gone on to train to become a world-renowned orthopedic surgeon like you. Wow. She said, but you know, she's British. I thought you Nigerians should be satisfied. I said, I'm not satisfied, ma. I am not. I did not tell them my plans again because I said, wow, is this how this thing happens? Thankfully, one of my friends told me, okay, GP training has opened. Go and apply. I said, yes, this is my opportunity. Without telling them, I went and wrote the exams. To the glory of God, I passed.
Wow, wow.
When I passed, and I was transferred to Derby. When I passed, I came and told them, they were like, oh, they wrote an email to me. Now when they like you in a job role, they will keep on renewing your visa. They had renewed my first visa. They now sent me an email. Oh, Dr. Oge, we really like you here. We want you to stay on. We want to renew your visa, not for 6 months this time, but for 1 year. I now told them, don't bother. I have got GP training. Sir, the same HR that told me that there is no space for me to be put on permanent nights called me and said, we have space for you to work permanent nights. I said, no, give it to somebody who qualifies. Like you said, I do not qualify. I'm leaving for Derby. Hey, they could not believe it. I think these people so love me was when that week I was leaving. If you see gifts, because when you are excellent, you know one thing about this country, it's nobody will tell you when you are doing well. It's when you make one mistake. Now I was leaving. If you see gifts I got, cards, even from patients, we will miss you. Okay, keep in touch. When you become a GP, please come back. We have role for you. I said, interesting. And I left. And I came to Derby. The shock of leaving London, where you look around, you will see 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5 Nigerians. You will nod your head. How far now? Hello now. How far now? I came to Derby in 2014, where I was the only Nigerian trainee in my set. You will come out. I used to live on Thomas Scott, New York Center Road. You will come out. You will stand there for 1 hour. You will not see a black person. I did not say Nigerian, a black person. There were only 2 African shops then now. Oga Afro Emma and the other guy who is Congolese in Normanton. Only 2. The loneliness, and I was alone. Jesus Christ. Depression came for me. Depression with suicidal depression came for me. Every winter I get depressed. That was when I struggled and struggled. There was a sense of community, but again, the community was all about let us gather, have party, wear the most expensive clothes, show off our cars, tell each other we bought the newest house. There was that distinction between the rich and the poor, which I hated. Because despite being a big man's daughter, if you go to Imo State and ask of my family, this country humbled me to stoop to conquer. I started by washing toilets, so why will I be proud? Me that mixed up with everybody from the bottom, I will not come and be carrying shoulder that I'm a doctor. So by the time I entered final year of my training is 3 years. I started my training in 2014, October 2014. I qualified as a GP, October 2017. I now decided to form a WhatsApp group for my friends. It was me, my friend who was in London, my friend who was in Scotland, and another friend that was in Liverpool. I formed this WhatsApp group for us to prepare for our exam. Why did I form this group? Sir, you'll be doing discussion, clean exam practice with a British doctor. I'm not saying all of them are like this, but that same culture of low expectations, which I saw in my former hospital. Why do you want to move? Are you not satisfied? I'll be doing discussion, and sometimes I will say the wrong thing. And they'll say, oh, your English is good. I'll be like, is it about English? I purposely said the wrong thing. And you're telling me my English is good? For an exam, I'm paying £1,500. Wow!
That means they encourage you to do the wrong thing.
It's not even about encouraging. It is about the bare minimum that you have done. You should be happy with the bare minimum.
Oh, right. Settle for less.
That is the thing. Exactly. You are not pushing for excellence. That you speak English is enough. That you have MBBS is enough. That you have a job is enough. This culture of low expectation is everywhere. In fact, there was a friend of mine I met in the hospital, a Nigerian doctor, a guy. This guy, you know, the same job I was doing in London as a senior house officer. He had been doing senior house officer for more than 15 years. It never occurred to him to specialize. It was when he met me and said, you're already is specializing as a GP trainee. I said, yes. He said, when did you come to this country? I said, 2012. He said, you came 2012. 2014, you're already in training. Why don't you locum and make money? I said, when I become a specialist, I will locum at a higher echelon. What am I remaining at this level and locuming for as a senior house officer? When during this period, if I become a GP, from GP, I can become a professor. There are many things to achieve in this country. And the good thing about this country is if you put your best foot forward, if you bring your leg forward, you will see people that will encourage you. Even as you will see those that will discourage you, those that will encourage you are there. So I now decided if I continue with these people, if I continue practicing with them, I will fail this exam. I need the raw Nigerian environment where they will yab me. If I go and say amoxicillin instead of amitriptyline, you go say, okay, see you now. Which kind of nonsense you go talk? You know, and again, that British politeness causes a problem. So that's our WhatsApp group that we belong to. It started as a discussion group for doctors, and then I opened it up to all Nigerians to help us grow professionally.
Wow. That means this kind of history, the challenges you face, the underground pressure, you were not just a cleaner, but you were looking at people behind me. You don't want them to go through these challenges.
Exactly.
And able to pull yourself out. That is why you have, because I understand that this group, now we have over 500 community in this group. We are just talking about professionals, CEOs, student, qualified student, professional in terms of health and social care. We also have education board community and all that in this community. And you celebrate many ceremonial period in that group, isn't it?
Yes.
And today you are not just like the person there. You have lots of people creating activity, not just you doing it on your own.
Exactly.
And I think one of the things I will really thank you for is that for giving us this foundation, because I think I've been motivated as well. During my final year nursing, the pressure I faced during my final year nursing, and that is when I got some support on the group. My colleague introduced me to the group, and what you are saying, I'm kind of a testimony from that community. So now I'm going to bring this kind of a big picture. However, I want to, before we go into your take on education and diplomacy, because I understand that you use Nigerian language, Igbo language, to teach some of it, and you also engage in the Afro-Medic mentorship community and all that. So before we talk about education and diplomacy in that approach, I'm just trying to go back to I think somebody was asking, we have lots of questions. Just say we're not ignoring anybody. Let me bring one question up. Can you see the question?
Okay, yes.
Omo Ebagwa saying Dr. Ogechi, Do you think an individual lifestyle has an influence on how far they will go in the UK? And what are the key things you think they should avoid, especially for new immigrants?
Okay, of course, yes. Your lifestyle matters. Your habits. Somebody says your habits become your reality. Your lifestyle matters. UK is a place for serious-minded people because the landscape keeps changing. I can't believe the way the UK has changed since I came here in 2012. If you don't have a focus, you will be pushed aside. You will be pushed aside. So you have to be driven, you have to be motivated, you have to be disciplined, you have to be focused. Discipline. Any small thing, police is at your door. Any small thing, fine. Any small thing, problem. You park your car wrongly on the street, you go and oversleep, you wake up and see tickets. I had a ticket on Valentine's Day. I'm still crying.
I mean, I go on a Christmas Day.
Valentine's Day! Valentine's Day that I even gave my own patients chocolates. I now went and parked my car on the streets because the place I live, I did not have enough parking inside. I now overslept the next day because Valentine was a Friday now, if you remember. I now woke up late on Saturday. Now say, let me go and take my car and drive in. Come and see Valentine give for me tickets. Oh, so that is it about this country. The rules are too much. So my advice to everybody coming into this country, one, please quickly find those who have been here before you. Throw pride out of the window. We see it a lot. People come, I've arrived. I don't ask questions. If you know somebody who is where you want to go, please, in my language in Igbo, we say, the person that asks questions never gets lost. Ask questions and find out from those who have gone ahead of you. And then learn from them. Don't be proud. Humble yourself. I have mentors. I go to their house. I go and wash plates. I go to their house and say, Ma, I'm going to the market. What do you want me to buy for you? Because I have to show you appreciation. Because in Igbo again, we say, that is, if you thank somebody for the one the person did, the person will do more.
Excellent.
How can somebody be giving me advice and I will not thank you? Because if I thank you and sing your praises, you will tell me more secrets. But our people come, the first thing is they don't want to ask questions. I've arrived on my own. What is it that you're going to tell me? I am abroad. You are abroad. Are you giving me lights? After all, nobody is on in gen. I'm not coming to put my food in your freezer. I'm on my own. Don't you want to rise? Don't you want to rise? So that is number one. Then what should new immigrants avoid? Hey, it's plenty. Sir, maybe we can do another topic on it's plenty. But the most important thing is you have to be disciplined. You have to reduce friends. You see this noise everywhere. Otimbodombo, you have not arrived. They're telling you are doing party. The uniform is 500 pounds. You will go and walk back to back, and take it and buy uniform.
Gobana design.
For what? You that has just come. You don't even know some of these people in this country how we are surviving is credit card. Credit card. My car that I'm driving, have I finished paying it off? Somebody will come on Facebook. You'll be in Nigeria. You see, somebody will put the whole key like this. God did. Within 1 year of coming, I have bought my house. God did. You don't know that that person is going to pay for that house for 25 years and more. You will not jump in. When you come, I'll be using a lot of Igbo proverbs. Sorry, if I remember some pidgin ones, I will say.
No, it's all right. I think you that is why I use the word education and diplomacy. You're very good at it.
Thank you. We say in Igbo, that is, you have to find space on the ground before you even put mats. So you can't just come and next thing you are in every party. They are going for a getaway, friends getaway. You are going. You have not even rested. You have not even paid back the people that you borrowed money for POF to come. You have not even faced the studies you came for. I see people who tell me, I beg, forget about the studies. I came here to flex. I see people that tell me, I don't care. What I used to tell students is aim for first class if you can. If you came as a student, I know that people came as students for various reasons, but if you can hit it, if you can hit that first class, because you are not just competing with those that came from other countries, you're competing with British students as well.
Of course, of course. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So now, in details, I know you have laid down every aspect of education and diplomacy. So let's focus on many medical teaching you have done.
Yes.
And you use Igbo language. What is your future expectation in regard to education and diplomacy? Because we have many of our medical professionals, right?
Yeah.
When they travel now, they have issue with something you mentioned in regard to English second language.
Yes.
They have to do a test again. We have many of our champions, like in Nigeria, and I'm 100% sure that many of them practice 4-field nursing in one go. But when they come to UK, they are not valued. They are not respected. They had to go through ski. Yes. Some of them had to be here working as a support worker because they are not qualified to work in the UK. In education and diplomacy, what are you expecting in the future? Do you think the language should influence both culture in international community by respecting our culture and language?
Okay, so my YouTube channel, I do health education in Igbo and Pidgin, not just Igbo, because I know that Nigeria is a multilingual country. So for each video I do in Igbo, I do in Pidgin. The purpose of those videos are for understanding and health education. I'm a general practitioner, and in my field of work, we are so big on preventive health care. I started doing those videos because I understood the importance of communication in this country. When I started, I talked about the OSCE exams, where they see your ability to communicate a heart attack to the man on the streets in plain language. It was when I came here, I realized, and if you go and look at the statistics, they're there. The average British person, the average, some of them stopped school at standard 6. But because we're in Nigeria, we think they are all polished and speak funny. We think they all went to university. And some of these things are vestiges of colonialism. We believe that they all went and have PhD because they are British. In fact, when you're a GP, you go for courses on communication. We are not even allowed to use terms like urethra, which is the pipe through which you pass urine. We use water pipe. For anus, we use back passage. For vagina in women, we use front passage. For esophagus, we use foot pipe. So can you see how we break things down?
Yeah.
So that the average Joe who did not go to school, or the person who didn't even, do you know there are people, there are some of my patients who are not literate, they cannot read. In this UK, they tell me, doctor, read it for me. I cannot read. I did not go to school. The first time I heard it, I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. What? Yes, they cannot read, they cannot write. And you now expect me to be telling them that you have urethritis? No. I will tell them you have inflammation of your water pipe. Are you having any pain in your back passage? Are you having any anal pain? You move away from that Nigerian attitude of, as a doctor in Nigeria now, I was speaking out of big grammar. You have hypertensive emergency and cardiomyopathy. Come and try it here now. Come and try it here. Let your patients go and complain that you're using big grammar. Medical jargon, that's what it's called. It now dawned on me, wow. How many of these medical terminologies do my people understand? How many Nigerian women understand that the cervix is the neck of the womb where you suppose they go make them screen them? How many women know they have a cervix? How many men know that prostate is the organ where every man gets, and every man fit get prostate cancer? May you go, may they examine you if you they urinate blood. So I decided I did a test run. My first video was in Igbo because that was Black History Month, and that was when I had founded Afro-Medic Mentors. Afro-Medic Mentors is my charity for mentoring Nigerian medical students. Again, based on the challenges I had writing the exams, I decided that I will be able to share my knowledge here with my younger ones coming after me. Why not? These people are going to be the doctors that will take care of me tomorrow. They'll take care of you. They'll take care of my family in Nigeria because I cannot carry my whole family to this abroad. Why not share with them the latest knowledge? What am I hiding from them? Why don't I want them to grow and be better than me and take care of me? One of the challenges we do on Afro Medic Mentors is I challenge these medical students to be able to teach medical education in their own language. I tell them, if you can speak all the peristalsis, locomotor brachialis, cardiomyopathy, and you cannot explain it to your grandmother in the village, why she needs to take her vasopressin, you have not communicated. You have not communicated. And that is why I started my channel, teaching education. Reason number 3, I am a GP. I worked in a practice in my 2nd year of training. When I worked in that practice, I will not say the name, but you will give my guess. When I worked in that practice, during my orientation, they told me the bulk of patients in this language, in this country, in this area, do not speak English. I said, what the hell? They said, yes. I said, how will I cope? They said, oh, when you come in the morning, this is the book of languages. You open it, Punjabi, Mipuri, Iraqi, this. You open the next page, Yoruba, Chui, Swahili. A patient comes in and tells you, doctor, no speak English, no speak. You say, what language do you speak? They tell you Swahili. You go to Swahili, the code is there, 5542. There is a number. Go and Google language line. These are businesses who have interpreters around the world on call.
Wow.
So when I ring that number, 080 this, hello, welcome to language line. Please enter your 6-digit PIN. I put my PIN. Enter the code of the language that you want. I go and put 354, which is the code of Swahili. They said, you want a Swahili interpreter? Yes. Press 1 for yes. Press no. Press 2 for no. I press 1. Do you know that I press 1? They'll say, hang on while we get a Swahili interpreter. They have a database of Swahili interpreters who are there. Their phone numbers, they will start calling. When they get a Swahili interpreter, they will say, hi, this is Kunda, your Swahili interpreter. Go ahead and introduce yourself. And I'll be like, hello, this is Dr. Ogechi on the phone here. I have got my patient in with me. The Swahili interpreter will give me his PIN number so that if they give me wrong interpretation and that patient says that what I wrote is wrong, they can trace Kunda. I will type it in my notes. Language line conversation in Swahili. Code. Pom, 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 pom. I will now put it on speakerphone and now tell my patients. I'll now tell the interpreter, please tell the patients that I am Dr. Ogechi. Can they tell me why they are here? The person on the line will now say, the patient will now say his own. Then the interpreter will now say, hello, Dr. Oge. She says her name is Aisha. She is from what? Tanzania, relocated to the UK 2 years ago. She has come in with breast pain. I said, wow. There is a role for communication and language in the UK. Those language line books, you have some of them up to 1,000 languages from all over the world.
That means anyone coming to be work in this profession, they need something we call continuous professional development.
Thank you very much,
for them
sir.
to balance their own learning, languages, communication, and all that, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now the final, before we go into the final question, thank you very much for your time, because I know you need to go back again. You are on your break.
Yes, sir.
I just want to go for a break for like 2 minutes. Now we go for a break for 2 minutes. Then you're going to talk about political area where we talk about diplomacy.
Yes.
So now it's going to be about the role of government in healthcare community. So
Okay.
before I ask a direct question, let's go for a break for like just 1 minute.
Okay.
Hello, thank you viewers for your time and thank you for your support. We still have Dr. Ogechi with us. Doctor, thank you so much for all you have given. I think we have gained many education today, and I think only one thing left is our maybe certificate in terms of how we're going to use it. So, however, before we pass, I know a lot of people will come back to watch the video and share it for those who really need this help. Before you go, I would like you to let us know,
Yes, sir.
in regard to the community now, how can people engage with you? I'm not talking about they coming to your profession or coming to your hospital or mentioning the name of care organization, but you live in Derbyshire community. We have Derbyshire, West Midland, we have Manchester, we also have East Sussex, we have London community. I know you started it in London and then moved down to Derbyshire. I know you have all this community together.
Yes.
How can they contact you if they are not engaging in your number, or how can they engage in the group if they are suffering right now? Because we have COS issue, we have job issue, we have immigration issue, we have those who are less privileged in the community right now. Do you think you can support when they contact you? How can they contact you?
We have a WhatsApp group. You see, I'm always active on that group whenever I have time. As busy as I am, I work till midnight every day, apart from Sundays, but I took extra shifts. I'm working this hard because, like I said, changing landscape, why you must not relax.
Yeah.
If I tell you I did not have work for 4 months last year, you might think I'm lying. I'm a GP. GPs are no longer being employed as before. The NHS is cash strapped. I'm a locum. Locum meaning I'm not tied to any practice. And I chose to be a locum because I'm caring for a family member that's not too well. 4 months of not working in this country, you know what that means? The loans I took to survive during that period. So thankfully, there was no more job in the East Midland area. Sometimes I'll get work once in 2 weeks, like that.
Yeah.
And then my agency came to my aid when I told them how difficult stuff were. And I am in Plymouth. You can see I'm in a temporary accommodation. I've been here since the 16th of December. I drove 6 hours to come down here. And since I came, I've not been back to Derby. I work every day, trying to pay off loans. I'm even in my own financial crisis self. It's not funny. So the person you see up today, that is one thing about this country. Somebody might have it all. And one thing will happen, you will lose it all. You will lose it all. Is it me that last year my tax people told me that my tax was what £8,000 from where will I pay it from? Do you see? So I am on a WhatsApp group. I try my best. If I can help financially, I can. There was a time we used to do an anonymous, myself and Femi on the group. I will give an undisclosed sum and he will announce it anonymously. If you know you're struggling, meet me, let's go shopping. And he will go and shop. People did not know who was giving the donation. You know, it's something I was doing. I used to do every month. Once they pay me my salary, I will give Femi, say, go and do shopping for people. They don't need to know it's me.
Okay.
And secondly, Instagram, my Instagram is there. If you DM me, I'll be happy. I gave you all my links. DM me, Instagram, Facebook. If you come on the WhatsApp group and DM me, I respond. You can ask people on that group that DM me. I respond. And then the other thing is, yeah, I think more educational seminars like this, maybe a live, where people can come in, ask their questions. TikTok is a good one where people ask questions and I can answer, you know. And just before, there's one question I'm seeing here. I just want to answer to that. Doctors and nurses feel they are
Yes,
hard.
in the UK, we have challenges in regard to policymakers recognizing doctors and nurses' efforts in the medical field. I just want to find out, just maybe it's just one sentence or 1 minute, just to tell us, what is your take? What do you think the government should do so that those in the medical field, especially nurses who are owing lots of money in student loans, and what is your expectation from the policymaker?
I wish the government would prioritize the NHS, increase funding. People are suffering. Doctors and nurses, we work so hard. We work so hard, you know, and it makes me sad. But then again, I do things like this to make myself happy. I give back by sharing knowledge. If I can encourage another person, it makes me happy. And then other things I do to make myself happy, I have a lot of hobbies. I crochet. I'm making this stuff.
Wow.
I crochet, I sell them. So having hobbies is another important thing in this country. If not, you will get burnt out, you will get depressed. I sing. You see me sharing my music videos.
Yeah.
People book me to come and sing at
You
their
think the government should be giving incentive to help professionals?
Yeah, I think the government should give incentives. But again, we are in the UK, which is a very, in Nigeria, we say akagom. It's the truth now. It's the truth. When they even give you that incentive, would they not tax it? They will tax it.
I know.
And you know that we are in a country that the higher you go, the higher your tax. Before I left my salary job, I was on 45% tax. It's the truth. So even me as a locum, there are sometimes I will want to book extra shift. I remember that when I book the extra shift, I will be taxed. So, sorry, sir, let me just answer this question about, are there any extra trainings when I become a doctor? Yes, I have said it. If you came at the beginning, I did my PLAB. After doing my PLAB, I had to do my GP entrance exam, then my GP qualification exam, and then I am now trying to become a master's in medical education. Every year, I do appraisal. Every year. You can't just say I'm an MBBS. Every year, you must do your mandatory training. Sir, you know about the mandatory training. Moving and handling, BLS, ALS, every year. And then I have an appraiser who looks at my mandatory training. They will check the number of medical conferences I've gone for. Do you understand? All these things. So asking about problems faced working as a doctor in the UK is plenty now. The racism, the working long hours, the loneliness, the billing, black tax. Oh, Chineke. My sister is a doctor in Nigeria. Billing, loneliness, racism, and having to work 10 times harder than your peers who are from here. Look at what is going on now. Sir, you are seeing them battling it, that they should stop giving international doctors jobs. I don't know if you've seen the news. They don't want to employ us again. There is now a propaganda against us that we are bad. Can you imagine? Yet, we are the ones that stay back when our colleagues have gone. Wait, what's we're asking? How does it take for someone working in Nigeria to become a UK doctor? You have to be a doctor first. I don't know your question. You have to be a doctor first. When you're a doctor, then come and write PLAB. Okay. It now depends on how long it takes you to write PLAB and pass.
All right. I will say thank you very much. You have given it all. But I'm going to do my best because of your busy schedule. I will make sure next time I'm going to bring maybe Femi. And the next one is going to be based on community intervention. How can people engage in voting? How can they engage in politics? How can they engage in leadership? So that we will have full contact on the screen that people can call, people can communicate, engage with the community in terms of leadership, because we're having an election coming soon, isn't it? We want our say, not just you having to help only Nigerians. We want to spread it out. In the UK, because you have this strength, this resilience, We want to spread it out that
Yes.
everybody in the UK will
Yes.
engage with it, so that
Exactly.
wherever you are, I don't know how many cities we have in the UK. However, having a platform like this, we can be able to spread the word so that everybody knows the importance of voting, importance of
Yes.
leadership,
Yes.
importance of engaging in community
Yes.
activity.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I don't know what you want to say to you.
I'm just sorry, I didn't get to talk about my governorship role. I've just handed over as a public governor for Derbyshire NHS Trust. I was a governor for 3 years. And
Wow.
it was a role that came on because I came out to engage. How did I engage? I'm somebody I like to integrate. I don't just stick to my own community. I want to know about the culture I am in. So there was an evening I was scrolling through Facebook. I saw an invitation saying there is going to be a community exercise, which is something I've been pushing on that our group. But our people don't like to exercise. You know that one. So it was being organized by a British lady saying, if you live in Friargate, Darley Park area, come for a morning jogging. This thing happened in 2019. I told my husband, let's go for this jogging. He was not interested, but I dragged him. We went to Darley Park for a morning jogging. People were just there jogging around. They'll tell you whatever you can do. If it's walking, if it's dancing, do. So when we finished, we jogged, exercise for 1 hour. Somebody even came and played music. We did Zumba. People from all races. You could see us there smiling in the winter morning. When we finished, we went into one small office and they were sharing hot tea and biscuits. And somebody now came to me and asked me if, to introduce myself. I told her I'm a doctor. She now told me, oh, that's interesting. Wow, that's interesting. Now you're here. What made me come? I told her because I'm a GP, I am always very big on fitness and exercise. She said, that's nice. This lady now asked me that, do I know about the governorship elections, just like you asked, coming up in the Derbyshire NHS Foundation Trust? I said, I don't know anything about it. She said, I should go and run for election. I will make a good governor. I say, you don't know me from anywhere. Which one is just go and run for governor? She said, you have the charisma, you can speak. That all you need is to be above 16 and be resident in the UK. That's all. I was shocked. She told me, but the only other thing is that you need to be a member of the Derbyshire NHS Foundation Trust. I will send you the link. If you just Google how to become a member of the NHS Foundation Trust, all you need to do is put your details, put your address, and they will start sending you invitations to come for the meetings when the Derbyshire Foundation Trust is doing their meetings. And this is the whole of Derbyshire, not just Derby. People come all the way from Chesterfield, they come from Bolsover, they come from everywhere in Derbyshire for this meeting. You will meet with the chief executives of the hospitals, and they'll talk about how things are run. My duty as a governor involved, when I go for these meetings, I'll tell them things like, in my area, Derby City West, we need more public parks. We need more places where short starts for the children to go and be weighed and be taught about parenting. Then I go and I present that in the meeting. Then at the meeting, they'll tell me this is what we have funding for.
They call it Greenland and medical awareness, isn't it?
Exactly. They will not tell me this is what is available in the community. Go and feed back to your constituents. Because I have a YouTube channel. If you check on my YouTube channel, I've done several videos on how to become a governor, my experience as a governor. There's one video I need to upload about the mental health services that are available. I keep saying, almost everybody is struggling with one mental health disorder or the other
100%,
in this country.
100%.
People think it's madness. It's not just madness. Depression, anxiety, mixed anxiety, depression.
Loneliness, you mentioned.
Loneliness,
Dementia.
Oh my God. So some people do not know. As in, even those who were born here do not know about the services. Talk more us that came. You will not be suffering loneliness. You will not be alone. You will not be withdrawing, not knowing that there is help. When they tell you that you are depressed, you will say, God forbid. Just like I did when they told me in 2016, okay, you're depressed. I said, it's not my portion. And I kept on fighting and fighting it until I had a mental breakdown. And then I knew I had to go and seek help. So that again helped me when I wrote my manifesto, because it was an elected position. I was not appointed. I had to write my manifesto. And this lady, her name is Moira Kerr. This lady that approached me took a great liking to me. And I see her today as my political godmother. She is the one that campaigned for me. She's the one that pushed me forward. And they voted me. I was the first Nigerian public governor of the NHS Trust.
Wow.
And with that leverage, I got in there. The last time I spoke with the chair of the trust, because I told her I'm now in Plymouth, she told me that based on all my wealth of experience, they want to create a portfolio role for me, whereby when the trusts employ people from my background, I'll be invited to come and share my story. You see that thing again about learning from those who have gone ahead of you. I have been here since 2012. I have my own lived experience. I will share to you my pictures, my personal statements as a governor. I don't hide my struggles with mental health. I don't hide my struggles. That's another thing. Don't use wrapper and cover your problem. We will not know where to help you. Packaging, they help. They help. You are packaging, you are wearing, you are doing like this, and you want us to believe that you are hungry. How will I help you?
Thank you so much. Thank you. And we're going to call it a day with you now.
Thank you.
How you can take care of because definitely we need money.
I know.
We want you to look after the people that are matter now for money to come in.
I know.
So that you can help the community. Thank you for letting us have you today.
Thank you so much.
We also appreciate you for the work you're doing in the community. We're going to make sure we use our media community to empower more people to support you, so that it will not just stop wherever it's going to end, and people continue from it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
So much, sir. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much, viewers, for your support, and I also appreciate your time and your resilience and making sure we were able to support Dr. Ogechi to do our best in answering our questions and answers. So now, if it's your first time joining Let's Talk Lifestyle and Culture with Sir Alex, we're going to be doing this every Sunday at 6 p.m. We're going to be having different champions, different leaders, a different mindset, and those who can be able to give us that story, that educational conversation that could help us to learn, educate, and make sure our community are covered. We'll talk about education and diplomacy. So now, sit back every Sunday at 6 p.m. and make sure you are always with us to ask any question, learn, and do your best in regard to the community intervention activity that we are doing. So don't worry. If you miss out on the beginning, and you're going to see the video on there, and you can keep watching it and watching it again, share likes, and then talk to anybody about the program. If you yourself want to come in, you have story that could help us, just like Doctor have made lots of impact, or you want to join Doctor community, wherever you are in the UK, contact us and we can link you. If you have COS problem, you have education problem, or you also have development problem at work, we could help you to climb the ladder when it comes to free training, free NHS support, and also OFC is also there to support you. Just so you know, this program was sponsored by OFC Training College Community, Osafeske, that is supporting people with education, healthcare, and training in the UK. So thank you for your support, and we're going to end the live now. Thank you so much. I'll see you again next Sunday at 6 p.m.